All right, role-playing tabletop games. We. What do you do? You just clunk your teeth. That's gonna be hell for me to listen to later, and I don't appreciate that.
Okay.
Tabletop role-playing games. They are a fun, great way to escape the hellscape that is the United States of America right now. We've both been playing for quite a while. Chance, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing for about 7 years.
7 years? Say. Okay. And I've been playing since about like 2016, so like 4 years. A friend of mine got me involved in it with like a little one-on-one game.
Yeah. So I started because like I literally woke up one day and I was like, I want to play D&D. And like that was it. And then I joined the army instead.
It's very different paths.
And then in the army, I think I told you this before. We were in Louisiana for training, and we were stuck in this giant tent for like a week after we were done training, and just like bored and not doing anything. So we had like a little fold-out notebook and dice rolling apps on our phone, and it was just 5 sweaty dudes on a cot just huddled around being like, all right, I attacked the orc. And all like the dude bro gym army guys were like, what are you nerds doing? It was a very like stereotypical experience.
They were gonna shove you in the lockers.
Yeah.
And so we've both been playing for a while, so we want to get to these people who just want to start out, who are interested and want to dip their toes into it because they're stuck at home, they're stuck in this quarantine, they can't go anywhere. So it's a fun game that requires minimal supplies. Everything you can just find on the internet in like PDFs.
Yeah.
And just your imagination and a few friends.
So D&D and tabletop role-playing is just that. You're at a tabletop and you're role-playing characters. Not like dressing up and...
I mean you can. The more advanced games do that.
But like you're just acting out your character and kind of putting yourself into this story that the DM, the dungeon master or the game master, puts together for you. So grab your most creative friend and make him learn stuff and give him ideas. Be like, learn D&D! And then he does. And then he can run your game.
That's exactly how it happens. It has to happen by force.
It has to.
You have to hold them at knife point. And at that point, you're just role-playing.
Yeah. The game master runs your game and like sits there and comes up with the story. And it can be anything from like, there's a dragon burning villages down. And then go get them. To something more advanced. But yeah, you're going to need a DM. You're going to need your friends.
And you're going to need a lot of dice.
A lot of dice.
And like, so we'll elaborate more on that. The kind of dice you're gonna need they're just like standard, like
you can buy them at most game stores.
Yeah, most game stores. Hot Topic sells them. Sometimes, at least they do here in Oklahoma.
I know, like I've seen bookstores sell them.
Bookstores, yeah, especially if they have like a D&D section, they will. If you have a Think Geek in your town, that's a great place to buy some too.
And you can order them online.
Oh, of
they
course.
come in sets like made for this, but if you want to like pick and choose.
And again, if you're stuck at home and you don't already have some dice, if you already have dice, you probably already know about D&D, and if you do, why do you listen to us talk about it? But if you're stuck at home, there's also apps you can download. Several apps that are great dice rollers, and they get really intuitive with it too.
So what kind of dice would you need?
What kind of dice would you need? Well, first you're going to need a D20, and then from there you need a D12, a D10, a D9, a D8, a D6, and finally a D4.
And sometimes some weirdo will come to your table and be like, look at my D3. And you can look and you can take your D6 and look at him and say, look at my D3. Because you can just have that shit when you're rolling it.
You have such a disdain for
I have
D3.
such a disdain for D3.
You hate D3.
I have never met a person with a D3 who that has not been their entire personality is the fact they have a D3. It's like those guys that have never seen Star Wars that are like, I've never seen Star Wars. No, I don't care that you haven't seen Star Wars. I don't care about your D3.
Damn, man.
Steven.
You went off. From there, some pencils, paper, and an imagination.
Maybe a grid, like if you have grid paper, or if you have a cool like dry erase grid square.
Oh my god, yeah, those are great. Grid paper is great because it can make the game a bit more immersive. You just put it down on the table and you have like a little token that represents your character, and you can kind of draw out each room of the dungeon. Yeah. If your dungeon master is like really creative, they'll do that. I've seen some where people get advanced and they make like full on tiles. They full on tiles and they make like little like castle dungeons. It's super cool.
That stuff.
That's like straight up Critical Role.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
our god, Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer. So we got our dice, we got your friends, we got your notebooks, and let's talk about the editions real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's talk about editions. So there are several different tabletop games. There's games like, there's the standard, the one everybody knows, Dungeons and Dragons, created by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Just great. They also made Magic the Gathering.
Gary
Gygax. We love Gary Gygax.
So I think that's one thing that's really intimidating too, is you guys might be at home watching us and being like, what is 3rd edition? What is 4th edition? What does that mean?
Yeah, personally, I prefer Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I think it is the simplest and easiest thing to dip your toe into and to get started in. It's also the one I know the most about, so I'm a bit biased. It's every game I run is Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I think I've run I've run a Starfinder game.
Yeah.
But like,
and all that means is it's the 5th iteration of the Dungeons and Dragons.
It's like the 5th sequel.
Yeah. So each one, like, they'll add stuff and take stuff away, and you change some stuff just to make the game run smoother or make it run differently. Like, 1st edition games are kind of grittier. You have a lot less hit points.
There's more of a learning curve to them.
Yeah, while like the newer ones, like you said, 5th edition, super simple.
It's super simple. It's the best if you're starting out, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that. Even though I started off on Pathfinder, which is basically 3.5.5.
It's basically 4.
Yeah, I started off on Pathfinder, and even though I started on that, 5th edition is way easier.
Yeah, every game I run is in 5th edition, and you've played 2 or 3 of my games so far.
But yeah, so that's what that means for those of you guys that are confused.
And the thing is, like, you can go out, you can buy the physical books. If you have the means, I definitely recommend it. It's great. It looks good on the bookshelf. And it's great to support the companies that you want to.
Yeah.
That being said,
Don't pirate stuff.
We're not going to... Don't pirate stuff.
Hey, YouTube, please don't demonetize us.
We were never monetized to begin with.
We don't have to know that.
So we talked about different editions. We talked about supplies you're going to need. Let's talk a bit about like some terms that they're going to need to know.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of different terms you're going to need to know. For one, there's going to be Nat 1 and a Nat 20.
Yeah.
So a Nat 1 just means that you rolled a d20 and it landed specifically on a 1. And a Nat 20 is the same thing for a 20. Nat 1s are treated as critical failures. And in my game specifically, every Dungeon Master is different, but in my game specifically, if you roll a Nat 1, I like there to be you failed the action that you were going to do, and usually I add a negative consequence for rolling a 1. Say you're trying to sneak up to this orc and push him off of a cliff.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going for.
If you roll a Nat 1, so if you roll a Nat 20, I would say you sneak up to him before he ever knows and you yeet him off that cliff. If you roll a Nat 1, you're going to sneak up to that orc and you're going to try and push him off, and you're going to slip and end up hugging that orc. It's not gonna be a good time for you.
The one that I have seen used a lot, and the one that I used to use a lot as a DM, was somebody shooting their bow. You pull back on a bow, you hit a Nat 1, your bowstring snaps.
Yeah, that's just the simplest way.
I'm getting away from that though.
Yeah.
The Nat 1 and Nat 20. Well, the Nat 20 was always a success, but I don't like the Nat 1 as much. Because if you have like a level 15, 16 rogue who's got like a crazy high stealth skill, and you roll a 1, that crazy skilled, talented, and practiced rogue all of a sudden just fucks up. Like, yeah, that happens, but...
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I equate it to. And also, I like to run my games a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Because I love Dark Souls. So
Yeah.
I try to bring an element of that into it.
Yeah.
Where you will die.
But yeah, there's a lot more to D&D, obviously, than just this video. So we're gonna be doing a series.
Yeah, a small little D&D series to help you get initiated with the game for those who've never played, or maybe those who haven't played in years and want to get back into it, get updated with like newer rules and such, newer additions.
So hopefully by the end of this quarantine, you'll know how to play D&D.
Yeah, not only will you know how to play D&D, you'll be playing it with your friends. Oh, is Anakin having a nightmare? Oh no, poor boy! Stop the video! Stop the video!
That is it though.
But yeah, so this is just our introduction. This is video 1, and we hope to see you for the rest of the series.
If you want some notifications on when we post the rest of the videos,
oh yeah, go ahead
YouTube
and
thing.
do the YouTube thing and like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon down below. And we hope you guys have as much fun as we do making these videos.
if you guys like listening to us talk, you can listen to one of us talk, maybe both of us, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah,
5 p.m.
we have
Central
several.
Time.
We have several podcasts.
We have several podcasts. I stream at Twitch on Chance of Rain, Twitch TV/Chance of Rain.
And we both run our podcast, Not My Jam, about music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find your podcasts. I'll leave links to these down below as well.
And we have our Mac Chats podcast, which we'll probably talk about D&D at some point.
At some
we have
point,
a lot
we'll
of stuff.
definitely-
Look down in the description. You'll find it. You're
So,
smart. I believe
yeah,
you. You smell good.
You smell fantastic. Is that
Is
Chanel?
that lavender?
Is that lavender?
I think it's lavender.
I
It's a
think
good choice.
I'm getting hints of
smells good on you.
citrus.
It smells good on you.
I don't like this bit.